Thank you and welcome to the show today. The guest this morning is Pastor KWalker, and Pastor Walker has been with us on a number of occasions, and the issue is critical issues in the state of Tennessee at the 21st century. And of course, Pastor Walker has a lot of information in reference to that. But before we get into that, Reverend Walker, let's see if we can have you to give our audience, for those members of our audience who might not know you, some information in reference. And I can't think of any who might not know you because you've been with us for the last 15 or 20 years.
Yes, sir.
And what we'd like for you to do is to sort of give us a brief statement in reference to your background, education, and some of your experiences, and then we'll get into what we consider to be critical issues at the 21st century, some of the issues that we believe to be very, very important in terms of the community, in terms of the state, and indeed in terms of the nation. Let's talk about it from that perspective.
All right. Well, again, I'm Pastor Kelvin L. Walker, born here in Nashville, Tennessee. Like you said, I'm no stranger to comments, and I thank you for the opportunity always to come on the show and just to share with your audience what I think is pertinent information. I was raised, educated in the public school system right here in Nashville. I say somewhat educated because I learned when I wanted to, and then when I didn't want to, I didn't want to. So, from there, I got a GED, went to the Navy, got out of the Navy, got a GED through OIC, Opportunities Industrialization Center. Did some courses out of TSU, but all during that period of time, during my time in the Navy and coming up, I was experiencing with drugs and dealing with drugs and was addicted to drugs, and that kind of shipwrecked my college career. Ended up incarcerated in the state prison system, did some time out there in the prison system, and of course in 1986, God delivered me from it all, 17 plus years of drug addiction, called me into ministry, and now I'm the pastor of the Hands of God Guardian Angels Ministries. We're located in East Nashville, out in East Nashville, Tennessee. And that's who I am, and that's where I come from. Had some good parents, raised me right, but I just went wrong. So
very good. And I think you mentioned OIC. Why don't you say some statements in reference to that? And I say that because if we're going to talk about critical issues in Tennessee, this, I remember many years ago, was one of those efforts to try to deal with the economic situation of Africans. Say something about that program, about how you met that program and what that program was able to accomplish, and then we'll get into some of the other critical issues that we're talking about.
Okay, Dr. Well, at the time when I went into the military, I went in at the age of 17. I had gotten in some trouble, and the best option for me was go to the military, so I went into the Navy. And during that time, now you have to have a high school diploma to get into the military, but back then you didn't need a high school diploma, so you could just go in, you pass all the tests and what have you. So I went into the Navy, had gotten kicked out of all the public school, went to the Navy, I got out of the Navy, and when I got out of the Navy, I had a desire to go to college. I wanted to go to college, but I didn't have a high school diploma. So what I did, I enrolled in OIC at the time. It was in South Nashville in the old Clemens School building right there on 12th Avenue South. And I enrolled in OIC to get my GED and the GED prep class there. It was a 6-month endeavor, and I went through the process, and of course I not graduated, but took the test and got my GED and everything, and from there I enrolled in Tennessee State University. So OIC, Opportunities Industrialization Center, played a very important role in my life, and my understanding is that they're up and they're still operating here in Nashville right now. They're right here on Charlotte Avenue, and they offer a wide range of programs and opportunities, computer classes, GED prep, job resume preparation, and things like that. And all those services are offered free. And I would say to anybody to avail themselves of those services.
So it still exists in Nashville here, and you think that it's still a viable opportunity for those individuals that might need further education as well as job experiences and etc.
Absolutely. I went by there couple of 4 or 5 months ago, and Ruby Hawkins, she's down there, and she's doing a whole lot of work with OIC and helping people as well to get into the mainstream flow of society, people that are ex-offenders and the like that are coming through the program, the various programs they have down there. I mean, just a great program. And like I said, it was very helpful to me, and it helped me on the right pathway. But like I said at the time, my life was still twisted in drugs, but I still had that desire because I've always sought knowledge. No matter what, I've always sought knowledge. I love to read, and I've always sought that even in the midst of active drug use in the whole 9 yards, I was always had a desire for it. So
it might not be within the framework of a degree, but it's acquisition of knowledge and information,
Oh,
which
absolutely.
has given you an opportunity to understand many more things, and perhaps than you would have had not you had that great desire to learn.
Without a doubt. Even while incarcerated in the prison system, I take college courses for KWalker East Campus prison program. So yeah, you know, the desire to learn and the desire for knowledge, you know, I read a lot now, you know, so it's always good to know.
Okay, Reverend, let's take this first commercial break, and then we'll get back to the second segment and deal with some of the critical issues. And we'll be back with you following this very, very short commercial break.